All right, so Anchor is officially the best place to host your podcast. If you watched my last video, it's been about a month now. I switched from Anchor, which is now Spotify for podcasters. I switched to a different platform called Megaphone. Both are owned by Spotify. And I was looking for something different. They had some, they indicated why it would be a better place to switch to. So I switched, and I can tell you without a doubt, Anchor is where you want to be at. I have now gone back to Anchor recently. And I keep calling it Anchor, but it's actually Spotify for podcasters. And it's just the best place to be. And here's why. One, monetization. You can start making money on Spotify for podcasters really quick. I think after 100 unique downloads, might be 50 or 100 unique downloads, you can be monetized and start making money. That's faster than you can on YouTube. So it's still a low barrier to entry. It might take you a little while to get there, but you can do it, and it's faster than YouTube. So that right there is one huge reason why it's beneficial, because if you start making money doing it, you can then put that money back into it, getting better equipment, and maybe it leading into a full-time job, one day as you grow. The other reason why Anchor is a lot better is the app. You have access to Anchor, you can edit, you can do so many things in the app. So those two reasons alone are why you should start with Anchor. Another thing is just the simplicity of use. So whether you're using the desktop version or you're doing it on the app, it's very simple. It may not have all the reports that some of these other ones have, but it's very simple and it has what you need. The experience with Megaphone, I'd say there was one good thing. The one good thing with Megaphone was that I had access to chat with somebody, pretty much anytime I needed. They had a live chat that was almost always accessible. Spotify for podcasters is starting to have something like that, but it's not as quick and responsive. But that's it. You don't make as much money. You can get monetized, so that's nice. But it was, if I'm being honest, very misleading in what they told me and what I made. So an example of this would be, and I'm sorry I'm just recording this on my phone. I don't have a lot of time to make like a in-depth video. I kept telling myself that I would, and a whole month has gone by. And so I just figured I'd just record it. And if this information is helpful, hopefully it'll be helpful, and that's it. But so I was making around $5,000 a month on Anchor or Spotify for podcasters when I made the switch. So I'm making around $5,000, and that's just from Spotify for podcasters. I still have sponsorships outside of that I was able to take with me. So, that's a wash. But I'm making about $5,000. I switch over to Megaphone, which they used this whole calculator thing on showing me how much I would make, compared to some of the other people on the channel. And so they alluded that with that amount of downloads that I was getting, I should have made around $8,000 or $9,000. Because when I initially started talking to them, they said I would make around 5 or 6. And at that time I was making about 3 on Spotify for podcasters. So they made it seem as if I was going to make more. Now, here's the thing. The reason it took me so long to switch is because even though they were saying that, they were just verbally saying that. There was the monetization agreement, which I looked at, but there was nothing that was quite like super clear. Whereas I think on Spotify for podcasters, it's pretty clear what you'll make per 1,000 downloads. So there was none of that. And you couldn't see what you were making each day. So one of the great things about Spotify for podcasters is you can literally see what you made each day. It's like a few days behind. If it's Wednesday, you could probably see Sunday or Mondays, but you could see it updating as the month goes on, versus with Megaphone, you don't. So I'm with Megaphone for this entire month and I can't see what I'm making. I'm assuming it's good because I check the episodes, I hear an ad play, in the 2 places that I put the ad. So I'm thinking that it's going to be okay. It's going good. I was nervous about it, but I figured, I saved some money, it would be good. And then I get the payment. So when I was normally making over $5,000, when it went over to Megaphone, it was $3,200, which, is okay. That's good money. But they took 50% of that. So then it ended up being $1,600. And then what makes it even worse is you have to pay to be on the platform. And my fee for being on the platform that month, because you pay a base plus, based on how many downloads you have, was over $850. So I went from making $5,000 clear, no fee, nothing like that, $5,200 around there, clear, to about $800 when you take out the fees. So do not use Megaphone. Maybe they'll change it in the future, but it's 100% not worth it. I would go to any platform beyond Megaphone. You could use, Spotify for podcasters, which I recommend. It's not the best software as far as like the website and stuff, but it's still good. It's good enough, and you can monetize. Or use Podbean or just any of the other ones. Megaphone is a no-go. This is probably, a $4,200 lesson. So hopefully I learned it and you don't have to. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.